Howdy, I'm Dilpana Theatre and my student ID is S11234895. Human development during infancy and toddler, yes, will be the main topic of this presentation. As illustrated in slide 1, human development is the scientific study of how individuals change and stay the same from conception to death. The second slide illustrates my theory of choice, which is John Locke's idea. John Locke was an English philosopher who developed theories and hypotheses on reality and human experience. He was born in Rington in 1682 and passed away in 1704. It was a photograph of John Locke, as you can see on that slide. A social background of human development is presented on slide 3. That statistics effectively illustrates how my own social context in Kiribati. The phases of infancy and toddlerhood in human development can be used to understand Kiribati's cultural and social customs, especially in light of John Locke's theories about how experiences and surroundings influence children. In accordance to slide 4, it will discuss some key points regarding John Locke's theories of infant and toddlerhood development. There are 4 points to be discussed, which is the first one is blank slates or tabula rasa. At the core of Locke's philosophy lies the idea of the infant as a slate. A newborn is like a seed in fertile soil, untouched by pre-existing notions or inherited knowledge. This means that every child enters life as a clean canvas, ready to absorb the world. Their development, both mental and emotional, is like a finely tuned metabolic process where each sensory experience sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell act as the nutrients that fuel and shape the mind. Just as the body transforms raw materials into energy, the child's understanding of the world is built from these sensory ingredients, which are metabolized into knowledge, emotions, and awareness. Every moment of sensory interaction is a spark that ignites the growth of the mind, a continuous exchange between the environment and the developing brain. The foundation of who we are, how we think, feel, and react, is thus metabolized from the world around us, turning experiences into the core components of our cognitive and emotional beings blank slates. The second one is experience is important. Locke's view, particularly fascinating when applied to infancy and toddlerhood, as it mirrors the natural metabolic process of growth. Just as a body converts food into energy, toddlers convert their sensory experiences, touching objects, tasting new foods, and exploring their environment, allowing them to digest the world around them, building a foundation for learning, social interactions, and self awareness. Each experience is like a vital nutrient, energizing their growth mind and bodies. Locke's theory aligns why toddlers are so curious and eager to explore. This concept not only forms the foundation of developmental physiology, but also resonates with everyday observation of child behavior, making Locke's theory practically relevant in understanding how infants and toddlers develop through their interactions with the world around them. The third point is function of education, where Locke emphasizes process, where both intellectual and moral growth are nurtured by the nutrients of learning and experience. In my culture, there is a strong focus on infusing children with values like empathy, respect, and responsibility, shaping their behaviors much like feeding the body with essential nutrients fuel to fuel healthy growth. Through formal education and the informal teaching at home, these early interactions become the building blocks for a child's sense of right and wrong. Locke's theory aligns with this idea, suggesting that just as the body is shaped by the food it consumes, a child's character and understanding of the world are profoundly shaped by their early learning experiences. According to the next two slides, which is slide 4 and 5, contains the relevance of social learning theory to Oedipus and examples. For relevance of social learning theory to Oedipus, which is the first one is the role of family and community. In Oedipus, the role of the family and community is children cannot be overstated. Children learn through the close observation of their parents, grandparents, uncles and auntie and parents. These family members and community leaders act as the primary role models for young Oedipus children often sit quietly by the shore, eyes wide, and their elders cast their fishing nets with practice and will turn to crops with patience, passed down through generations. This sacred art of watching becomes the first classroom, where every flick of the fishing line, every seed planted speaks volumes. Through this process of imitation, they don't just learn to fish or farm, they absorb the very essence of survival. Cooperation, respect for nature, and the heart of living sustainably. In this living classroom, each lesson is more than a skill, it's a thread woven into the fabric of their culture, ensuring cultural expectation in Kiribati. The social learning theory shows how children absorb cultural norms by once learning to mirror these behaviors, weaving values like humility and reverence into their own lives. For example, a child may watch how adults carefully greet elderly community members, bowing in lessons passed down through generations, are like seed planted in the child's hearts. The second one, which is social norms by cultural expectation in Kiribati. Social learning theory shows how children absorb cultural norms by once learn by watching and imitating adults. As they observe elders showing respect, care, and cooperation. Young, young swan learns Tamir, Tamir, learn to mirror these behaviors, weaving values like humility and reverence into their own lives. For example, a child may watch how adults carefully greet elderly community members, bowing in lessons passed down through generations are like seeds planted in the child's heart, growing, growing into a deep understanding of the values that sustain their culture and community. The third one is the impact of external factors and the media. As known in Kiribati, while the roots of community-based learning remain deep, the winds of change are brought by media and external influences. Children once measured solely by the traditions of their elders now encounter new ideas through television, the internet, and social media. According to social learning theory, these media offer a second stage for learning where children absorb behaviors not just from the community but also from visual worlds. For example, a child in Kiribati might watch a social media influencer, someone with a polished image and a message of self-centered success, like a distant star guiding them toward values of individualism and materialism. This new tide can stir the waters of traditional Kiribati values, creating a quiet clash with the community-centered ideals of respect, sustainability, and humility. While these foreign influences may reshape how children dress or interact, they also serve uh, as a reminder of how the world beyond can ripple through the calm surface of tradition, leaving their mark on the next generation. In conclusion, John Locke's theory of child development, particularly his idea of the blank slates, offers a compelling lens to understand infancy and toddlerhood. According to Locke, children are shaped entirely by their experiences and surroundings, rather than any innate knowledge. This perspective aligns with the developmental stage of infancy and toddlerhood, where early experiences, especially interactions with caregivers, lay the foundation for a child's moral and, intellectual growth. In my cultural context, where values of respect and communal learning are emphasized, Locke's theory resonates deeply. For example, toddlers learning to greet elders with respect and imitation showcases our, pro- our behavior is modeled through observation rather than inborn traits. Locke's focus on experiential learning provides a clear argument for how children in this stage not only develop basic skills but also internalize societal values, paving the way for future moral developments. Now I reach the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time and bye bye.